Hey guys! So, welcome to Cirque du So Fit. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're doing a lot of questions, a lot of basically fitness and nutrition theory versus the practice of doing a full workout, which is what I've been doing. So, like this video, give it a big thumbs up if you're interested in learning more and if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell to receive notifications when a new video is up so you don't miss anything. Welcome to my couch. I have some coffee. Lola Cat is running around somewhere. She's most likely going to meow at us at some point. So let's get started. I have some questions from my folks on Facebook, and I'll be pulling from that over the course of the All right, so the first question is a nutrition question, and so it is, how much should I stress about getting enough protein / not getting too many carbs? So this is going to depend a lot on your fitness goals and what you do for workouts. So this specific person is an acrobat. She trains at the same studio that I do. So her macronutrient goals are going to be a lot different than most people's. So basically, you want to make sure that you're getting about 45 to 65% of your calories day to day from carbohydrates. 45 is on the lower side, so if you're going to be doing anything athletic or if you are an acrobat, you're going to be wanting to get more in than that. I generally recommend between 55 to 65% on that end. So that's going to sound kind of high, given we are used to being told to have a low carb diet, but you have to consider that our main energy source is glucose, and glucose is going to be most easily taken from carbohydrates. Your body can synthesize it from proteins, and to a certain degree, fats will be used as energy sources once all the carbohydrate sources have been used. But there's a really fine balance to hit before your body starts taking it from fat cells versus using your proteins, because your body wants to hang on to body fat as long as possible, because in case of famine or, some people call it starvation mode, it wants to hold on to that fat. So you want to make sure that you're getting in enough carbohydrates for your level of activity. So again, acrobats, athletic people, I always recommend 55 to 65% of your daily calories should come from carbohydrates. Lola Cat has joined me, so I think she might try to get comfortable, might try to hang out. We'll find out. Hopefully she's not too talkative. She's a very chatty cat. So when it comes to protein recommendations, again, this is going to depend on your fitness goals and the level at which you are training. So the person who is an avid long-distance runner is going to require different protein levels than somebody who is a power lifter or somebody who is an acrobat. So generally, the recommendation is getting 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. So that means that you're going to be getting in 1.2 to 2 grams for every kilogram that you weigh. So essentially making sure that you're getting in enough in proportion to your body. So what does that mean? Where do you fall on the 1.2 to 2 grams? So generally, most people, 1.2 to 1.5 is a perfectly fine range. If you're generally more towards the 1.2 arena, then you're going to want to hit closer to 1.5 on days that you're doing like weight training or anything that's going to be more taxing on your muscles. I would say that for anybody who works out 5 days a week, who works out for more than an hour, hour and a half with weight training, or somebody who is an elite athlete or does something like acrobatics, gymnastics, swimming, then I would go for more around the 1.8 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So essentially, roughly, you want to get 10 to 25% of your daily calories from protein versus carbohydrates or fat. So it's actually a lot lower than most people think. And in America, we actually tend to get far more protein than we think we do. And so for some people that can actually be super taxing on some of your internal organs. It can be hard on your kidneys, and that creates a surplus of protein that your body essentially can't use. So you're not actually doing a whole lot for your body when you're taking in more protein. You're actually getting in calories that would be better served to use as carbohydrates or as fats to bring more nutrition to the table on that front. So you're basically skewing your macronutrients in a way that your body can't use, because we can't store extra protein to use in the future, but you can store fat as triglycerides, or as body fat, which is less than ideal. But if you train correctly, storing your fat as triglycerides is super useful. And then we can store carbohydrates for future use when energy is low. But we can't store protein, so you have to be careful about making sure to use your protein efficiently. So again, around 10 to 20% of your daily calories should come from it, and just making sure to find the ratio that works for you when it comes to how many grams per kilogram. It might take a little bit of experimentation to see what works best, and that might mean taking a week to try one ratio, and then taking another week later on to try another. But all of this is going to depend largely on how you feel. I'm a big proponent of, if a diet or training plan doesn't feel good, then don't stick with it for any longer than it takes to see the results. So if you feel super tired, or your workouts are faltering because you're only getting in 45% of your diet from carbohydrates, take a week, knock it up. So you'll change everything from the percentages that you have then, and you'll take it and you'll change it to carbohydrates. And so that could be, take 5% for fat, take 5% from protein, move it to carbohydrates. It's going to be such a big game of experimenting and finding what works for you, because what works for you isn't going to be the same as what works for other people, because all of our bodies function so differently and require so many different things. So I know that for me, I was trying to go low carb for quite a long time, and I was so tired all of the time. My workouts were suffering, especially my cardio. And so to me, it was like, we were taught low carb is the way to go if you didn't want to hang on to body fat, but I just wasn't functioning that well as a high level athlete. So pay attention to your body, take notes. If you're trying to find what diet plan works best for you, keep a diary. Take around a week or two to keep a diary of everything that you're eating, if you followed your macronutrients, if you followed your plan, and then how you feel around your workouts, or even just in the morning. So really taking note of what is working for you and what is not working for you is going to be super, super helpful to know how to adjust your ratios from there. Because say your energy levels, you're feeling super, super energized, but then post-workout for a couple hours, you're really super lagging, then that might mean that you need to get a little bit more fat into your diet, or it could mean that you're not getting in the proper post-workout protein. All right, and the next question comes from the same person, but I feel like it's the important next step of what to address after talking about carbs and protein. It's, how important is it to eat before or after exercise? So again, that's going to depend very largely on your fitness goals. If your goal is to do workouts to lose body fat, then it's not going to be as important for you to eat before a workout as it would be if you are a performance athlete and need to absolutely hit certain performance goals throughout your workout. So I would say if your goal is to lose weight, to cut fat, then you're going to want to do cardio on a mostly empty stomach. A lot of people swear by fasted cardio, where you don't eat for 12 hours beforehand. So first thing in the morning, you've been asleep, your body doesn't have the carbohydrate stores to pull from. So the theory is it pulls directly from your stored body fat. So if that is more along the lines that you want to do, that is something to try, give a shot, see how you feel. But especially in the case of my friend who wrote this question, I would say definitely make sure to eat before your workout. Try to get in around 200 calories. And if that doesn't feel enough, if you still feel hungry or if you still feel lagging, then take in another 100 to 200. Again, this is going to be a little bit of an experimentation game, seeing what works for you, but primarily making sure to get in carbohydrates mixed with some fat beforehand is going to be super, super useful. And then post-workout, same thing, depends on your goals, depends on your body, etc., etc. I'm going to keep repeating that we're all different, and really the only thing that you can do is find what works best for you. Post-workout, if you are aiming to lose weight, cut fat, then you're going to want to have a super high protein snack afterwards. So not replenishing your carbohydrate stores. You want to keep that burn, that post-workout burn. You want to keep it going into your fat stores versus trying to replenish using carbohydrates. If you are an athlete, or if you are somebody who is on the performance scale of fitness, then you're going to want to get in primarily carbohydrates post-workout. So they've done a lot of research recently about the carbohydrate to protein ratio of post-workout recovery, and they're finding that a 4-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein is actually ideal. So if you are an athlete or if you're a runner or anything like that, you want to get primarily carbohydrates in afterwards, and protein is actually more of an afterthought. Because again, we can only use so much protein, right? So if you are the kind of person to do a protein shake post-workout, then that's great. You can keep it on the smaller side, but make sure that you are getting in like some pretzels or something else to help replenish your carbohydrate stores if you are looking for more of a performance-based result. So that being said, if it makes you feel super good to have like 3 string cheeses post-workout, if that fits into your diet plan and that is what you need post-workout to feel good, go for it. Do what makes you feel right. So definitely make sure to have something in between. And then that kind of takes us into one of the other questions that I had was a question about the anabolic window. So essentially the anabolic window is the window post-workout where your body gets the most gains from eating. So that means it's the primary time that your body can use that nutrition to the fullest. So there are a lot of theories going on around this, and a lot of like kind of shaky science and some science that actually checks out. So I know in the bodybuilding communities, there's a lot more talk about you got to hit the anabolic window, otherwise you lose your gains. But the window is a lot bigger than most people think that it is. So if you're going for heavy performance, building up, you want to make sure to get something in within a half an hour of finishing your workout. So to some people that sounds like it's a bit too fast, maybe your stomach needs some time to settle in post-workout, that's fine. You have up to 2 hours for your body to be able to use that nutrition. So ideal is within a half an hour, but if you get it in within 2 hours, then you're going to see progress from that. And so again, finding what works for you. And so I always encourage trying to get it in within a half an hour. I think that everybody can really benefit from being sure to get that in that quickly afterwards. So that is my personal recommendation. I know sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes it's super hard. Try to have like a Quest bar, a protein bar, a little bit of, in a tiny Tupperware, a little bit of protein powder, or at least some BCAAs to carry you over afterwards to bring your recovery in and replenish all of that energy that you used, help your muscles heal, and continue that gain train, as it were. And then next up we have how to make good decisions about when to take a rest day and when to push through feeling tired, unmotivated, whatever. So this is a really big hippy-dippy listen to your body on this one. I always encourage taking at least 2 rest days per week, especially when you are a high performance athlete or when you spend a lot of time in the gym. So making sure to get at least 2 days where you're not doing heavy workouts. My personal workout plan is 5 days of lifting, acrobatics, whatever heavy muscle work that I have to do that week. And then I do one day that is an active recovery day. And so what that means is I try to get about 20 minutes of steady state cardio in. So pretty straightforward, not too taxing. And that's basically just to get my blood flowing to feel what my body needs. And so that actually gives me a time, a specific day once a week to just get moving and then use that blood flow to roll out, to do some light stretching. You don't really want to stretch too heavy on an active rest day, because a really heavy stretch, like if you're working on contortion or any heavy flexibility work, that's taxing your muscles in the same way that a heavy muscle work would. So you want to be careful about making sure that you're using it as a restorative day. So if you wanted to do like a gentle yoga or something, that's fine. But if you wanted to go through like a hot yoga class, maybe stay away at that exact moment. So I find that to be a super useful way to feel out if I need an extra rest day that week or something. So if my active recovery day, if getting through that 20 minutes of cardio is a super big struggle and then stretching out is super tight and everything is awful and I hate it, then that means that I need another rest day that week. But if I feel rejuvenated after that, or if during it I'm like, yeah, I could work out more, then you're going to be fine. One thing to pay attention to is if you feel like you're getting sick, be sure to lay off a little bit, take an extra active recovery day, or just rest it off. Pay attention to your sleep. You want to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, around hopefully 7 to 9 hours per night. And if you're getting that good quality long sleep, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to make it through without as many rest days. But if you're having a week that is particularly hard on your sleep, and that could be for any number of reasons, and you know, that ranges from just my sleep quality is awful this week because work is so stressful, to my sleep I just can't even get because I'm working so hard at school or I'm training too much, then you want to be careful. So it's a really big listen to your body thing, but especially for those of us who are high performance or who have super active jobs, then you want to make sure that you're getting at least 2 days in. And one of those days is going to be a complete rest day. Like, don't do anything. If you can just stay on your couch and chill and maybe like meal prep that day, then that's a great way to use your rest day. And then the other one is going to be more so you can get stuff done that day. So that would be more your active recovery, a day that you can run your errands, walk, anything like that. So again, if you wanted to take a little bite-sized chunk away from that, it's going to be at least 2 rest days a week. And then the way to tell is really going to be tapping into what your body needs. And for some of us, building that body awareness is a part of the fitness journey, and it's going to take more time to figure that out. So really find a way to really bring your mind into your body, into your muscles, to figure out what you need from there. I find it super helpful to have that active recovery and rollout day. So putting on some music and just rolling on a foam roller, feeling what bits and pieces need some attention. Maybe you had a super hard leg day that week and you really need to lay off of legs for a little bit. That's how you're going to figure it out. So taking your time to feel through what you need versus having 6 days a week of super hard workouts. That's just not going to be good for you either. So I'm going to keep this video a little bit short. I have a lot of questions that I'm going to pull from the next time I do one of these videos. But one of the ones that I picked out that I want to talk about is, are there any common machines that you would advise against using, and there are plenty. The primary ones that I would say stay away from are ones that are going to involve a lot of pushing or pulling with your back. So that would be the machines that have you do crunches where you're pulling on the padding behind you to pull forward, or the ones that involve spinal extension, so you're pressing against something to lean back. And there are a couple of reasons why I hate those machines and why I actually get really mad that my gym has them. And part of it I think is a little bit obvious, where if you consider that you are putting your spine into a pretty prone to injury position of extending back and giving that stretch that most of our bodies aren't used to, or crunching forward in a way that's putting a lot of strain on your upper back because you're yanking it down. I think that's pretty obviously an injury concern. But on top of that, there are so many more useful ways to use those muscle groups and build them up. You're going to see a lot more progress if you're doing sets of, say, planks or Paylock press or anything that's going to be a stabilizing motion. You're going to see a lot more gains in your balance and stability throughout your torso by doing that. And then when it comes to the actual contraction, so the crunching motion, I hate crunches, I hate sit-ups. Even if you just did those, you would see so much more progress than doing that stupid machine, because that machine has you locked into one position, so you're only using one muscle group, and you're not even using it very well or effectively because your arms are actually doing a good amount of the work for you. It pretends that you're locked into place. You're totally not. You're pushing down with your elbows, regardless of how you feel your abs. So taking your time to do ab exercises on the floor is also going to add in extra instability, so you have to be able to use the rest of your body to stabilize in an effective, efficient, functional way. Versus, I'm going to use this machine to crunch. Then when it comes to the spinal extension, yeah, you want to strengthen the muscles in your back. There are so many better ways to do it. There are so many more efficient ways to do it, and so many more ways that really are not going to involve as big of a risk of injury. So even if you were to do lying on the floor spinal extension, then you're using your body weight and you're not pressing something against your spine, against your back in order to do it. So you're just lifting yourself up, using those muscles to lift your body versus, pressing into it and hoping for the best. So those are definitely the two styles I would recommend against anything that's really going to say, use this machine to work your core. It's going to be far more effective to do other exercises. So if you wanted to use your back, anything that's rowing in or pulling down, that's fine. But just pressing your back against something, not so much. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Don't use those two machines, please. And that's what I have for you today. I hope that I answered any questions that you have. If not, feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can send them to me on Instagram, on Snapchat. You can feel free to put them on my Facebook, or you can email me on my business inquiries email, cirquedusofit@gmail.com. And if you're interested in learning more about remote training or training one-on-one if you live in the Boston area, you can feel free to email that address as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. So if you liked this, if you learned something from it, if this is a series that you want me to do more of, give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to learn more about Cirque du So Fit and see more videos moving forward. So thank you guys. Super appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you later on this week for a good workout.